Hi friends, once again we are here with some burning topics which are roaming all around the corner in the country. Let us talk about history. History, in a layman language, it is said the record of past events and the record we get it from books, from archives, from historians, from people's memory who lived the history and pass it on to the next generation. And the history remains forever. And this history cannot be erased through rewriting or distorting the history. The history cannot be erased through erasing the signs and symbols of the history. History cannot be erased by changing the names of historical places, by changing the names of historical events. And what the Modi government is doing today, everywhere, is trying to erase the history. It's trying to rewrite the history, which is completely manipulation of history. When they don't have any presence in the history, when they don't have any presence in the freedom movement, they don't have any face which fought in the freedom struggle. They just distorting, rewriting and manipulating the history. And switching off the Amar Jawan Jyoti flame, eternal flame forever, is an attempt of that. What Amar Jawan Jyoti flames stands for? It stands for the braveness of our soldiers, the braveness of then Prime Minister Indira Ji, who, despite the warning of US, fought against the brutality of Pakistan government and created Bangladesh. And extinguishing Amar Jawan Jyoti flame and merging it with National War Memorial flame, the Modi government is trying to erasing the courage, braveness, firmness of the soldiers and then Prime Minister Indira Ji. The government and its leader Modi ji, which publicly says, without saying the name of China, that no one has infiltrated into our territory. When 20 soldiers died in a fight with Chinese soldiers, when they have such a shameless record, while saving our territory, they just trying to erase the history of the soldiers and great leaders who fought for our territories, who fought for creation of Bangladesh. And take the example of Savarkar. The Sanghis called him Veer Savarkar. On 13th October last year, 2021, the Home Minister of the country, Rajnath Singh, publicly said that Gandhiji asked Savarkar to write mercy petition to Britishers, which is completely a lie. Veer Savarkar, while put in jail in Andaman, wrote several mercy petitions to Britishers, and later on he was awarded pension by British government. And the Sanghi tells him, Veer Savarkar. Gandhiji himself went to jail 11 times and never wrote a mercy petition to British rulers. How can Gandhiji ask Savarkar to write the mercy petition to British rulers? It's an example of how the history, how the Sanghis, how the Modi government are trying to distorting the history, trying to distorting the facts of the history, and switching off the flame of our Jawan Jyoti forever is an sheer attempt, is a shameless attempt of that. The Modi ji, while on his mission to change the name of schemes and identities, he announced that Viklang would be called Divyang to honor them. What happened after that? Whether Viklang or Divyang, lives have got any compensation, any sort of assistant, any special scheme from government? Nowhere. The Yojana Ayog was renamed Niti Ayog. What happened after that? Nothing has changed. And there is no state representation in Niti Ayog. It's concentration of power of Modi government. They changed the name of Mughal Sarai railway station to Pandit Deen Dayal railway station. Whether it has changed the status of the station, whether the station emerged as a different kind of a station? Nowhere. It's an agenda to fool the people. It's a well designed tool to keep us involved in such events and take us away from the real issue, take us away from the poll promises which were made before 2014 general election. They don't talk about jobs. They don't talk about state of economy. They don't talk about employment. They don't talk about high prices. They don't talk about creating jobs. They just talk about religious issues. They just want to create religious tensions, which again take us away from the real issues. Two days ago, Modi ji announced that a big statue of Subhash Chandra Bose would be built on India Gate to pay the indebtedness of Subhash Chandra Bose, who fought against British rulers. What Subhash Chandra Bose stands for? He stands for, you give me blood and I will get you the freedom. And what PM Modi stands for? You give me boat and I will give you complete chaos. I will give you the chaos of economy. I will give you the chaos of unemployment. I will give you the chaos of high prices. I will give you the chaos of privatization of profit-making PSUs and nationalization of loss-making private sector such as Yes Bank and now Vodafone Idea. Modi ji stands for chaos of communal tension. Modi ji stands for chaos of breaking all the democratic principles which enabled us in creating a great democratic country. What we nowhere now. And 3,000 crores were spent on building Sardar Patel statue. You can just think, when the country don't have fund, you are wasting the taxpayers' hard work earnings. Lakhs of houses could have been built. Hundreds of kilometers of roads could have been constructed. Tens of flyovers could have been built if we would have diverted this 3,000 crore in welfare schemes. Whether it's Sardar Patel, whether it's Pandit Nehru, or whether it's Subhash Chandra Bose, or whether it's Gandhi ji, they all remain in our heart. They all remain in our livelihood. They all remain in books. They all remain everywhere in the country because they showed us the path of truth, honesty, integrity, patriotism, and this government just believe in building the statues of selective leaders and distorting the history. It never walks on the path of truth, honesty, integrity, and real patriotism. They just take us away from all these good habits and train an army of youths which nowadays every day kills kill Muslims, innocent Muslims. That an army of unemployed youth which makes Sulli app and Bully apps where the famous Muslim women are listed for selling purpose. They just create an army of unemployed sick youths who are mentally sick to carry forward their religious and political agenda. And the generation which is most of them are politically not that much intelligent comes under influence of the government and carry on their agenda. So it's duty of all of us to speak against this agenda, this religious agenda of Modi government, to expose them every now and then and rebuild the country which is completely dismantled in last 7 years at all the front. Thanks for watching. Jai Hind.